USPS lost Army veterans' remains, delaying delivery, family says. Can somebody explain how getting rid of and destroying mail sorting equipment is supposed to save money? Like, what is even the premise of that? But hey, getting rid of all those sorting machines won't affect anything. Don't worry. /S. Headlines like these were part of the plan. Now a bunch of people who barely pay attention will think the USPS is incompetent rather than Republicans sabotaging it. Republicans, the government is incompetent. Defunds a perfectly good and necessary branch of it. Republicans, see, we told you. That is a disgrace. People who are loyal to a man instead of the country are traitors. Louis DeJoy lost Army veterans' remains. And you know what would fix this problem? Less funding. This is not the USPS we have had for the last 200 years. This is Trump's post office. Well, we'll just have to demand Louis douchebag answer for this bullshit tomorrow morning at the House Oversight Committee hearing when they dissect his lies thus far. Unfortunately, even with the House passing this latest bill to help USPS, that does not mean the Senate will pass it, nor does it mean that the President will sign the bill. There are two big hurdles yet before the USPS sees any financial help. DeJoy needs to be gone by tomorrow. The man is intent of destroying one of the oldest government service providers in this country. Shame on him. Nobody, conservatives in government, sabotages government services and functions. Everybody else, this thing is fucked up, we need to fix it. Conservatives, see, that's why government sucks and we should privatize everything. So the military can send dead people through the mail but I can't? WTF. This whole sorting machine issue gonna backfire bigly. Not a good look for that DeJoy clown. Arrest the fucker. Get ready, for I hardly knew the man. Nobody has done more for the troops than I have. He knew what he signed up for. The few months between Trump losing the election and Biden taking over will be some of the most fucked up months in US history. Why? Trump has hinted that he will not take a loss sitting down. He's been systematically dismantling Obama's projects simply because he hates Obama. Now imagine what will happen when he knows he was voted out and thinks everyone in America hates him. Jesus absolute fucking Christ. How the hell can this be an acceptable situation? It's far past time for us to have a mass protest, nationwide, so we can make very clear that this is unacceptable. I hate that this is beginning to overshadow the BLM movement, but we cannot do anything without guaranteeing our institutions survive this travesty. This administration is trying, with its many heads, to keep us swept up in its incompetence so we do not focus on what matters. Vote for your future. Vote for security. Vote for change. It's not like a Biden administration gets in and we stop protesting for change. I'll be the first on the line if he cannot or will not live up to expectations. We stay active, we stay vigilant and involved in our governance. The time has come to make our leaders do the will of our people. It should have happened a long time ago, but here we are. The goal now, the only goal, is to protect what works and remedy what does not. We live in a time of science, technology, and diversity. This horrendous administration ignores all of that to the whim of an orange asshole who cannot even admit he's bald on the top. Democrat? Republican? Who really cares when the future is on the line? Stand by your principles and not some fucking party. I will not argue nuance or benign belief over the truth we see play out in front of our very own eyes. I'm done with that. We have an obligation, if we believe in this experiment, to hold it and ourselves to account. Make your stand now. It'll be much more difficult to rectify if we wait, if it could be solved at all. I worked at a post office one summer in college, late 1980s, and was told the story of the jar of ashes that broke on the belt, covering all the mail, and how they collected ashes from the break room ashtrays for days to fill it up. Still think it was an urban myth or perhaps the old-timer way of freaking out 19-year-old college kids, but I, for one, took the fragile stickers very seriously. That post office has been in the news recently about its sorting machines being removed. Wonder if any of the loved one was still there. The body was probably eaten by rats. It's total chaos. Rats reported feeding on packages of rotted fruit and meat as Postmaster General's cutbacks unleash chaos at California's mail centers. https://www. Business Insider. com/USPS California overwhelm of food rots and animals dies in cuts chaos 2020-8. Our country is under attack by Trump and his accomplices. Even still, vote by mail early, if your state has computerized vote machines. I think the admin wants people to vote in person using machines that are vulnerable. Disrespecting military veterans is just what Republicans do. I'm sure they're all having a big belly laugh over this. If it was shipped by UPS, it would have been thrown on the front lawn, with the container broken and ashes leaking at the wrong house like my TV I ordered for Christmas. It got there on time. So there's that. I guess. It is sad seeing America burn down. RIP. Republicans, for being the vet first party, sure have spent 4+ years shitting directly on vets and their support systems. Any man who would mock and demean a Gold Star family couldn't give a fraction of a fuck about a vet's remains. He can't even pretend to care. The news comes as the USPS has been rankled by the coronavirus pandemic causing delays in the service. No, the Hill. They're rankled by DeJoy's fuckery. That's it? Republicans, okay, but the blacks still won't be able to vote right. I miss when Obama was president and the USPS never ever delivered a package late. 8 straight years of zero delays or lost packages. Bring me back to those glory days. Remember 4 years ago when Kaepernick was kneeling and Pence intentionally went just to walk out? Yeah, support the troops. /crickets / Trump, it is what it is. If he doesn't care about those who are dying, he's not going to worry about those who are already dead. Crematory manager here. Fun fact, in the US there is precisely one legal way to domestically ship cremated human remains. Any guesses? Yep. USPS Priority Express. Only legal method. They really are going for low blows on this thing. The US Army doesn't ship casualty remains in the mail. We take care of our own and do what's called a dignified transfer when deceased service members return from theater. This was after the remains were given to the family, so they must have shipped them. I'm sure that isn't the argument at hand, I just wanted to clear up any insinuating. I see American government is using the same strategy the Brazilian government has been using for ages in order to privatize the mail service. This is how the GOP diminishes people's faith in the USPS and justifies gutting it. Trump, it is what it is. This is by design. USPS is being deliberately thrown into chaos to undermine confidence in its ability to reliably deliver voting ballots. GOP hates veterans. They love soldiers, but ideally to them they never become veterans. That's why I only use Amazon Prime for family remains deliveries. Call me a cynic, but this is convenient timing to discredit USPS. Thanks, Mr. President. Human remains are only acceptably mailed via registered mail. Registered mail has an accountability trail for every stop and step of the package's journey. Signed for at receipt, kept under lock and key, and signed for again for dispatch of every step. I doubt that the package was lost, but rather delayed by DeJoy's BS. If it wasn't mailed registered, then they violated the domestic mail policy. Thank Trump, it's all on him. Correction, government causes the loss of Army's veteran remains due to its election rigging measures. This just in, people now realize that the USPS has been a complete cluster F and %, since they were forced to save for 75 years worth of retirement funds in 2005, crippling its basic ability to do its job by pushing it into insolvency.